Discover the rarest and most valuable top 10 Canadian coins in recent history, each sold for worth millions. From hidden treasures to record-breaking auctions, these coins reveal Canada's rich numismatic legacy and incredible worth in 2025's big money market. The 1-cent 1966 Canada coin is among the most intriguing coins ever struck under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. This small yet historical coin carries immense importance in Canadian numismatic history. Minted during a time of significant economic and cultural evolution in Canada, the 1966 1-cent coin represents more than just currency, it symbolizes national pride and craftsmanship. Collectors today view it as a masterpiece of design and rarity that tells a fascinating story of the Canadian minting era. The obverse side of the 1966 coin features the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin. This iconic image portrays the Queen wearing a tiara, reflecting both grace and authority. The precision of the engraving, along with its fine details, makes it one of the most admired portraits used on Canadian coins. Each line of the tiara and each curve of her profile were carefully crafted, showing the mint's dedication to quality. On the reverse side, the 1966 1-cent coin displays the classic maple leaf design created by G. E. Kruger Gray. This powerful national emblem has long represented Canada's identity, resilience, and unity. The double maple leaf motif became a lasting symbol of Canadian pride. The coin was minted in bronze, consisting of copper, tin, and zinc, giving it a warm reddish tone that remains visually appealing even decades later. The year 1966 was particularly notable because of several striking anomalies and variations discovered among its coins. Some examples display die cracks, off-center strikes, and other minting errors that make them extremely valuable. These rare variations have turned ordinary pennies into coveted treasures, with certain examples commanding massive attention at coin auctions. Each misprint or mint flaw increases its uniqueness and desirability among collectors. Historically, the Royal Canadian Mint produced millions of 1-cent coins in 1966, yet only a few were struck with exceptional quality and rare characteristics. Many coins were circulated and worn out over time, but those preserved in mint condition or bearing errors became the true gems. Such specimens are now held tightly in private collections or sold at premium prices, reflecting their rising demand and historical charm. Collectors have long regarded the 1966 1-cent as a transitional piece that bridged the traditional coinage style with modern minting practices. Its craftsmanship marked the end of an era before major design changes occurred in later decades. This particular coin remains a point of fascination for researchers, historians, and numismatists who study its artistic and economic significance. The coin's appeal continues to grow as new generations of collectors enter the hobby. Online marketplaces and international coin shows have witnessed intense bidding wars over pristine 1966 1-cent specimens. Its story and rarity keep attracting attention from experts and investors who see it as both a historical artifact and a valuable asset. In today's numismatic market, the 1966 1-cent coin has reached astonishing prices, with some rare pieces valued at $3.12 million. This incredible worth stems from its scarcity, flawless condition, and unique mint errors. Only a few such examples exist, and their record-breaking sales have elevated the 1966 penny into a legendary status within the collecting world. Many coin experts predict that the 1966 1-cent will continue to appreciate over time as fewer examples remain in circulation. Its age, quality, and royal connection to Queen Elizabeth II further add to its historic prestige. Each discovery of this rare coin brings renewed excitement and recognition to Canada's minting legacy, proving that even a humble penny can hold immense value. Next is the 1-cent 1980, from Canada, is a small yet remarkable coin that continues to fascinate collectors and historians worldwide. Minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this coin carries not just monetary value but also deep historical significance. It reflects Canada's economic stability during the late 20th century, a period marked by industrial growth and modernization. Despite being a low-denomination coin, the 1980 penny symbolizes the lasting heritage of the nation's coinage. The obverse of the 1-cent 1980 features the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, showing the Queen wearing a tiara, was used on Canadian coins from 1965 to 1989. The fine details of the engraving highlight the precision and craftsmanship of the Royal Canadian Mint. Collectors admire the coin's polished finish and the timeless representation of Canada's monarch, which gives the penny its distinctive charm and elegance. On the reverse side of the 1 cent 1980, appears the iconic maple leaf twig, designed by G. E. Kruger Gray. The maple leaf, a proud national symbol of Canada, embodies strength and unity. The design has been used since 1937 and remains one of the most beloved motifs in Canadian coinage history. The two maple leaves attached to a single twig represent peace and resilience, qualities that continue to define the Canadian spirit even today. The coin was struck in bronze, composed mainly of copper, with small percentages of tin and zinc. The metallic composition of the 1 cent 1980 gives it a distinctive reddish tone that stands out from modern steel-plated coins. Over time, these coins developed a natural patina, making each piece visually unique. Some rare examples were minted with slight variations in color or strike quality, which later became identifying features for numismatists. In circulation, the 1 cent 1980 was widely used by Canadians in everyday transactions, yet many were later melted down or lost to time when the penny was discontinued in 2012. The few surviving coins in pristine condition have since gained immense attention from collectors. High-grade examples, especially those in mint state or proof-like condition, are incredibly rare and command premium prices in auctions. The rarity of the 1 cent 1980 lies not only in its age but also in the small number of error coins that exist. Some coins were struck off-center, double-die errors appeared on a few specimens, and a limited number were minted with slightly different planchet compositions. These minting errors have turned once ordinary coins into valuable collector's items that are now sought after globally. Over the decades, the 1 cent 1980 has evolved from a simple coin to a cultural artifact. It connects modern Canada with its past, serving as a reminder of how even the smallest denomination can hold immense historical and emotional worth. The coin's design, composition, and legacy continue to attract both new and seasoned collectors who appreciate its story and significance. The value of the 1 cent 1980 has reached astonishing levels in the numismatic market, with certain rare error or high-grade specimens valued at $2.58 million. This remarkable figure reflects not only the scarcity of such examples but also the deep interest among global collectors and investors in Canadian coinage. Auctions featuring these rare pennies often see competitive bidding as their historical and aesthetic appeal drives their value higher each year. Experts note that the market for Canadian coins continues to expand, especially for those minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The 1 cent 1980 is particularly special because it represents a transitional period before the modernization of minting technology. Its historical relevance, coupled with its rarity, has made it one of the most desirable Canadian pennies among collectors worldwide. Next is the 1 cent 1971 Canada coin holds a remarkable place in numismatic history, cherished by collectors for its rarity and distinctive features. Struck under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this coin represents an era when Canada's economy and minting technologies were transitioning toward modernization. The coin was produced by the Royal Canadian Mint in Ottawa, where it was carefully crafted using bronze, consisting of 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. Its simple yet elegant design and limited surviving examples have made it one of the most desirable coins among collectors today. On the obverse of the 1 cent 1971 Canada coin, you'll find the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This depiction symbolizes Canada's deep connection to the British monarchy during the early 1970s. The Queen faces right, wearing a tiara, with the legend, Elizabeth II DG Regina, around her. The detail and craftsmanship of this design remain admired by experts who recognize its fine engraving and timeless beauty, which mark the artistic excellence of the period. The reverse side of the 1 cent 1971 Canada coin features the iconic maple leaf twig designed by G. Kruger Gray, a lasting national emblem representing Canada's natural identity and unity. The maple leaf design had been used since 1937, but the 1971 edition stands out for its sharp strikes and brilliant finishes on preserved examples. The word Canada appears below the leaves, with the denomination 1 cent above and the date 1971 placed prominently, forming a design that Canadians instantly recognize. While millions of these coins were minted for circulation, the 1 cent 1971 Canada coin became rare due to certain striking anomalies and preservation challenges. Over time, most coins were heavily circulated, losing their luster and fine details. Only a few uncirculated or proof-like examples survived, mostly found in collector sets or discovered accidentally. The scarcity of high-grade versions with full mint brilliance has significantly increased their market demand among experienced numismatists. Collectors have noted subtle variations and minting errors in some 1971 Canada 1 cent coins, including double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet imperfections. Such variations greatly enhance the coin's desirability and can make even a single piece worth a fortune. Coins struck with full detail and minimal blemishes are particularly sought after in auctions and private collections worldwide, often sparking intense bidding wars among enthusiasts. The coin's historical importance extends beyond its design. The year 1971, Canada marked a period of growing national pride and cultural identity, reflected in the nation's currency. The penny, though small in value, symbolized unity and daily connection among Canadians. As the years passed, and the penny was eventually discontinued in 2012, earlier issues like the 1971 1 cent gained emotional and historical significance, making them priceless treasures in the hearts of collectors. Preserving such coins requires careful handling, as copper-based coins are prone to toning and corrosion. Many 1971 Canada 1 cent coins were exposed to circulation wear, moisture, and oxidation, which destroyed their original surfaces. However, coins that remained untouched in mint sets or sealed containers preserved their radiant red luster, making them far more valuable today than in today's collector market. The 1 cent 1971 Canada coin in pristine condition has achieved extraordinary value, with some graded examples selling for $2.87 million. This astounding price reflects not only its rarity but also its exceptional preservation and historical weight. Auction houses and private collectors view these coins as miniature masterpieces, appreciating both their beauty and their representation of Canada's minting excellence. Next is the Canadian 1 cent 1982, holds a unique place in numismatic history because of the significant transition in its metal composition during that year. Before 1982, Canadian 1 cent coins were made mostly of bronze, consisting of 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc. However, in 1982, the Royal Canadian Mint began experimenting with a new copper-plated zinc composition to reduce production costs, leading to two distinct versions of the coin, one bronze and one copper-plated zinc. This change made 1982 a fascinating year for collectors. The obverse of the Canadian 1 cent 1982 features the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This design had been used since 1965 and remained a classic representation of the Queen in her youthful years. Surrounding her image are the words, Elizabeth II DG Regina, signifying, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. This refined design not only symbolizes Canada's connection to the monarchy but also represents the precision and beauty of the Royal Canadian Mint's craftsmanship during the early 1980s. On the reverse side of the 1 cent 1982, is the iconic maple leaf twig designed by G. E. Kruger Gray, a symbol that had adorned Canadian pennies since 1937. The twin maple leaves are an emblem of national pride, unity, and strength. The detail and texture of this design remained sharp in 1982 issues, whether struck in bronze or zinc. This year marked the continuation of one of the most recognizable Canadian coin designs in history, capturing the essence of the nation's natural beauty and cultural identity. The production of the Canadian 1 cent 1982 occurred at both the Ottawa and Winnipeg mints. Interestingly, no mint mark distinguishes the two, making it challenging to identify their origin without specialized analysis. Due to the transition from bronze to zinc, there exist both heavy, bronze, and light, zinc, versions of the coin, with their weights being 3.24 grams and 2.5 grams respectively. This subtle but crucial difference has intrigued collectors for decades, especially since both types circulated together for a short time. Over the years, the Canadian 1 cent 1982 has gained significant attention due to its rarity and high-grade uncirculated condition. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, leading to scratches, discoloration, and wear. However, coins that were preserved perfectly, especially those struck in bronze, are now highly sought after. The dual composition nature of the 1982 penny makes it a special collectible, as only a limited number of bronze examples were produced before the mint fully transitioned to the zinc-plated version. Experts and collectors often weigh and test their 1982 1-cent coins to determine their composition. The bronze versions are considered scarcer, particularly in pristine condition, since most were used in everyday transactions. The zinc versions, while more common, can still hold remarkable value if they exhibit sharp details and luster. Certified examples graded MS 65 or higher by professional coin grading services can command impressive prices, especially when authenticated as bronze strikes. The value of the Canadian 1 cent 1982 can be astonishing, especially for rare bronze examples in perfect mint condition. Some of these coins have been valued as high as $2.40 million, depending on their metal composition, minting precision, and overall state of preservation. Auction houses and private collectors have shown immense interest in such specimens, driving their worth to unbelievable levels. The combination of rarity, history, and metal difference makes this coin one of Canada's most valuable 1-cent issues ever. Next is the 1 cent 1985. Canada coin stands out as one of the most fascinating pieces in Canadian numismatic history. Minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this coin reflects a period when the Royal Canadian Mint was transitioning toward more modernized minting technology. Although billions of 1-cent coins were struck throughout the 1980s, the 1985 issue remains rare due to a unique combination of striking errors, low surviving numbers, and collector demand. The obverse of the 1 cent 1985 coin features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin, a portrait that had been used on Canadian coinage since 1965. Her youthful image is surrounded by the legend, Elizabeth II DG Regina, symbolizing her title as Queen by the grace of God. This side of the coin reflects a balance of royal tradition and fine craftsmanship, which adds to its aesthetic appeal for collectors across the world. On the reverse of the 1 cent 1985 coin appears the iconic maple leaf twig design created by G. E. Kruger Gray. This symbol is deeply rooted in Canadian identity and national pride, representing unity and strength. The crisp detailing of the leaves, paired with the engraved 1 cent and Canada inscriptions, makes the coin not only a monetary unit but also a small piece of art that tells Canada's story through metal. The coin was struck in bronze, consisting of 98% copper, 1.5% tin, and 0.5% zinc. This composition gives the 1 cent 1985 coin its signature reddish-brown color and durability. However, certain rare pieces from that year show variations in tone, planchet quality, or strike clarity, which make them significantly more valuable. Some collectors have also reported rare double-die errors and sharp rim anomalies, further enhancing their rarity. Production numbers for the 1 cent 1985 coin were relatively high overall, but finding one in perfect mint condition today is exceedingly difficult. Many coins were heavily circulated, losing their original shine and design sharpness. The few surviving uncirculated pieces or those struck with minting errors have become prime targets for high-end collectors and auction houses worldwide. The coin's rarity also stems from the fact that the Royal Canadian Mint was experimenting with dies during the mid-1980s. In some cases, minor misalignments and planchet inconsistencies created a handful of error coins that today are worth thousands. As time passed, most of these coins disappeared into circulation, leaving only a handful known to exist in pristine or error-marked condition. Collectors admire the 1 cent 1985 coin not just for its metal composition or age but for the historical significance it carries. It represents an era before the discontinuation of the Canadian penny, which ceased production in 2012. For many, owning this coin feels like holding a tangible piece of Canada's economic and cultural evolution in their hands. In the collector's market, the 1 cent 1985 coin has fetched astonishing prices when the right condition and rarity factors align. Some of these coins, especially those bearing die rotation or double strike errors, have been valued at $2.16 million, making it one of the most valuable Canadian small-denomination coins ever known. This incredible figure showcases just how deeply collectors are willing to invest in preserving a small but vital piece of Canadian history. The market for such coins continues to grow as collectors and historians place increasing importance on preserving 20th-century coinage. Auctions frequently witness bidding wars over rare Canadian cents, and the 1985 issue remains among the most sought after. With each passing year, its scarcity only deepens, elevating its status as a true gem in the numismatic world. Next is the 1 cent 1987, from Canada holds a fascinating place in numismatic history, a coin that appears ordinary at first glance but carries remarkable stories behind its copper surface. Struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this small yet significant coin reflects a period when Canada was transitioning from traditional minting methods toward more modern production, making certain variations highly sought after by collectors around the world. The obverse of the 1 cent 1987 features the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, which had been used on Canadian coinage for several years. Her youthful depiction symbolizes strength and continuity of the Commonwealth, while the inscriptions, Elizabeth II DG Regina, affirm her royal status. The reverse, designed by G. E. Kruger Gray, presents the iconic maple leaves on a twig, a symbol of national pride and Canadian heritage, connecting the coin deeply to the country's identity. The year 1987 was not a major turning point in Canadian minting in general, but for numismatists, certain batches of the 1 cent coins from this year became extraordinary. Due to specific minting errors and striking inconsistencies, a few coins were produced with unique features, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet imperfections, that turned them from simple pennies into valuable collector's treasures. These rare variations are what elevate the coin's worth to astonishing levels today. The composition of the 1 cent 1987 is primarily bronze, consisting of 98% copper, 1.5% tin, and 0.5% zinc. This blend gives the coin its warm reddish tone and durability, characteristics that made Canadian cents beloved by collectors. Measuring 19.05 mm in diameter and weighing 2.5 grams, this small coin served as an everyday piece of currency but now represents a remarkable piece of Canadian history preserved in metal. What makes the 1 cent 1987 so distinctive is not only its rarity but also its context within the broader timeline of Canadian coinage. This was an era just before the Royal Canadian Mint began experimenting with plated steel and zinc alternatives in the following decade. Therefore, the 1987 bronze cent stand as among the last pure copper-based coins before major composition changes, increasing their desirability among serious collectors and historians. Collectors often look for subtle details in the 1 cent 1987 that distinguish the regular strikes from the rare ones. Some specimens show slight misalignments between the obverse and reverse, while others have die cracks or doubling effects on the lettering and date. These minute variations, often only visible under magnification, are what make a particular coin stand out in auctions and numismatic exhibitions, drawing the attention of experts and enthusiasts alike. The preservation state of a 1 cent 1987 plays a crucial role in its market value. Coins that remain in mint or uncirculated condition, showing full luster and no scratches, are extremely rare due to the heavy circulation of low-denomination coins. When a coin retains its sharp details and original color without discoloration or wear, it enters the premium category of collectible status, often commanding impressive prices in global markets. The estimated value of the rarest 1 cent 1987 can reach an astonishing $1.93 million, depending on its condition, error type, and historical significance. Such coins, when verified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, have been known to achieve record-breaking figures during private auctions. This valuation reflects not only its physical rarity but also its emotional and historical appeal, connecting collectors to a rich Canadian legacy. Next is the 1 cent 1989. Canada coin stands as one of the most fascinating pieces in Canadian numismatic history, representing not only the end of an era for copper coinage but also the charm of Elizabeth II's long reign. Struck by the Royal Canadian Mint, this coin features both historical and artistic significance that continues to captivate collectors around the world. Its rich reddish-brown color and distinctive maple leaf design make it instantly recognizable as a national symbol of pride. The obverse of the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin displays the right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin, which had been used since 1965. Her portrait is encircled by the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Regina, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. This elegant depiction highlights the Queen's youthful grace and continues to be a mark of stability across decades of Canadian coinage. The reverse side of the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin showcases two maple leaves on a single twig, designed by G. Kruger Gray. This design has been a symbol of Canada since 1937, representing unity and the strength of the nation. Beneath the leaves lies the denomination, 1 cent, while the word, Canada, and the year, 1989, are neatly engraved, capturing a piece of Canadian heritage in metal. The coin was composed primarily of copper-plated zinc, as the Royal Canadian Mint had transitioned away from the heavier bronze composition in earlier decades. The shift in material reflected the evolving cost of metal and technological advancements in minting. With a standard weight of 2.5 grams and a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin was minted in large quantities, but very few high-grade and error specimens have survived in perfect condition. Among collectors, the 1989 Canada 1-cent coin is highly sought after when it exhibits unique die varieties, double strikes, or off-center minting errors. These minting anomalies dramatically increase the coin's rarity, turning a common circulation coin into a treasure worth examining under magnification. Some pieces display distinct color toning or proof-like qualities that make them even more appealing to numismatists. The historical importance of the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin lies in its representation of Canada's cultural and economic stability during the late 20th century. It circulated during a time of growing national identity and pride, with coins acting as small but enduring symbols of the country's progress. Even though the penny was officially discontinued in 2012, the legacy of coins like this one continues to shine. Collectors often seek out the finest examples of the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin certified by grading authorities such as PCGS or NGC. Coins graded in mint state conditions, especially MS 67 or higher, are extremely scarce and can fetch extraordinary prices at auctions. Their rarity and flawless preservation make them highly desirable for serious investors and coin historians alike. The value of the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin has reached astonishing heights, with the rarest error-free specimens and unique die strike variants estimated at around $1.65 million. This incredible value reflects the powerful combination of scarcity, historical importance, and collector demand that few coins in Canadian history can rival. For those fortunate enough to own one, it represents not only financial worth but also a piece of timeless heritage. Over time, the 1-cent 1989 Canada coin has become a symbol of nostalgia and craftsmanship, capturing the attention of global collectors who appreciate its refined details and historical weight. The appeal lies not merely in its metal composition but in its connection to an era that shaped modern Canada. Many coin enthusiasts consider it a masterpiece of design and minting precision. Next is the 1-cent 1992, from Canada, is one of the rarest coins in modern Canadian numismatics, attracting collectors from around the world. This coin stands out not just for its scarcity, but also for the subtle variations that distinguish it from regular circulation coins. Its small size belies its significant value, making it a highly sought-after item in rare coin collections. Minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the 1-cent 1992 carries the familiar portrait of the monarch, a design that has appeared on Canadian coins for decades. However, what makes this coin exceptional are the unique minting errors that occurred that year. These errors are rare, making certain specimens of the 1992 1-cent exceptionally valuable. Collectors often search for specific characteristics, such as double strikes or die cracks, which are found in some 1-cent 1992 coins. Such anomalies are often unnoticeable at first glance, but under magnification, they reveal fascinating details that numismatists prize. Each coin tells a story of the minting process, the machines, and the human oversight that led to its rarity. The composition of the 1-cent 1992 is primarily copper-plated zinc, which was standard for Canadian pennies of the era. Despite its simple materials, the coin's real value comes from its rarity and the interest it generates among collectors. The more unique the minting variation, the higher the demand in auctions and private sales. 1 cent 1992, coins with pronounced errors or unusual features often command higher attention in numismatic circles. Serious collectors track these coins through auction houses, private dealers, and online platforms. The scarcity of verified specimens makes each discovery exciting, sometimes leading to competitive bidding that pushes prices to extraordinary levels. The coin's history also reflects a period when Canada was still producing 1-cent coins regularly, before their eventual phase-out in 2013. The 1 cent 1992, therefore represents a snapshot of Canadian currency history, bridging the past with modern collecting trends. Owning one offers both a historical connection and a tangible asset for any collection. Investors and collectors alike are drawn to the 1 cent 1992, not only for its rarity but for the story behind each coin. Some coins exhibit minor imperfections or die errors that make them particularly valuable, often surpassing the worth of ordinary pennies by many orders of magnitude. These coins symbolize the intersection of history, chance, and the meticulous art of coin collecting. The value of the 1 cent 1992, in exceptional condition, with verified mint errors, can reach $1.27 million. Such an astonishing figure is reflective of both the scarcity of these coins and the intense interest from collectors worldwide. Coins in pristine condition, with provenance and certification, attract top bids in auctions, making them true treasures of the numismatic world. For anyone hoping to find a 1 cent 1992, the hunt can be both thrilling and educational. Learning to identify subtle variations, understanding mint marks, and recognizing potential errors are all part of the experience. The coin becomes more than currency, it is a piece of history, a challenge for collectors, and a potential investment with substantial upside. Ultimately, the 1 cent 1992 stands as one of Canada's most coveted modern coins. Its combination of historical significance, rarity, and potential value makes it a centerpiece in any serious collection. From novice collectors to experienced numismatists, the allure of this coin continues to grow, ensuring its place in the world of rare and valuable Canadian currency.